Hi everyone, I'm back. Just a little quick, I guess, share on how I'm storing my watercolor pencils from AdornIt that were part of our design team package for the month of May. I also swatched them out and wanted to share that with you as well. So in our design team package, we were given the cake pans that, cake pan water colors that they sell in their shop, and I will put links in the description box if you're interested and you've never tried watercoloring before. This is a nice set for cake pans because the colors are stacked, and so you can see I've numbered mine. So there's 4 little trays here that screw together, and this one is number 3, and then this one is number 2, and I've numbered them for a reason, and where that number is actually the first swatch that I did. So this is number 1, it's on the top. So it coordinates to my swatch chart that I did of them. This is that chart. So the rounder for number 1 is here, and that first one is next to the white color. That's why you don't see it, because it's on white watercolor paper. And so 2, 3, and 4 you can see here. So, and then I just go around the circle. So if you can imagine, 1 starts here and then goes to the left. So that's the yellow, the orange, and then blues at the end, right next to the white. So there's 6 colors per wheel here, and I've just swatched each one of them out, and you can kind of see there's some very close similarities in colors here, which is interesting. And then the other part of it is this is the pigment at the top part, and then I just added water. I cleaned my brush off and then added water to the bottom part, so that you could see what it looks like when it's just adding water to that pigment. And that's a really dark purple. See that? So that makes, let's see, 4 times 6, 24 colors. I'm actually going to store this with my watercolor pencils because this packaging doesn't really allow for me to store this with it. So I'm just going to insert this into my watercolor box. And so this is what I decided to do. They don't come like this. They come in a plastic package that is 36 pencils wide and tall, 1 tall. So what I did was I found that the pencils fit inside of these Stampin' Up! Double wide cases, and the entire set will fit in the case. So I took an empty one and cut up with my tonic scissors the packaging, and the part of the packaging that was holding the actual pencils in place, because there was not a tray, but the package was molded so that it was like a pencil tray. So I cut that one side of the packaging and put it in as inserts to hold the pencils in place. And so when I open this container, which isn't, you know, it's pretty sturdy. Some of the pencils do roll around, and that's because they're not tightly held in there. What I did was, because it has these plastic, sorry, there's like a not a firefly, housefly or something in here with me. At first I thought it was a mosquito. There's these little inserts that these boxes have. I'm just going to insert the swatch chart for my cake pans in here, and you can see I even put that label that they had on the packaging, so I knew what these were, and I could just insert it in there and it won't fall out because it's kind of got that, what do you call it, tension. So if I open this box, I should probably open it like this so they don't all fall out. This is my swatch chart for the pencils. There are 36 pencils, and unfortunately they were not numbered in any way. So now you've seen my pencils move around, and there's 2 layers of pencils. See? So this tray holds, I don't even know how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 pencils here. wide inside that container. And I reordered them slightly. The order here is mostly what they had in the actual container, but I took the grays and the black and the white and put them at the end next to the brown colors. And these were all together like this in the tray. But these have been moved around a little bit now. You can see because it's got my orange down in there, and yeah, and a green got rearranged. So not a big deal. When I was looking at how I wanted to store them, I knew that I didn't want them in the original packaging because then I would have to store that somewhere that was odd shaped. Okay, so I came up with this because this is more compact. So basically that purple here ends with this purple, you know, and continues with the blues. And then I did it like Roy G. Biv. So the other thing is, as I took them out of the packaging, I numbered each one. And so there's 1 through 36 because there are 36. And that allowed me to identify the pencils. So I know that when I pick up this yellow one, it's number 24. I used a Sharpie to do that. And then when I swatched it out on the front, number 24 is right here. And not that it matters, but I used one of these Micron Pigma pens because this is archival, which means it's waterproof. So if it were to get water on it, it would not smudge. Okay. So this you can actually use if you wanted to do a drawing on watercolor paper. This will not smudge when you watercolor over it. Okay. But here's the colors for the watercolor pencils. And I used my new brush that I picked up at Cheap Joe's today. It's a number 6 snap round. And I wanted to play with this specifically so I could kind of get a feeling for how it works, or how well it works with a pencil. Because I won't use this with my tube paints. I will probably use my other brushes, my better quality brushes. But I like this synthetic brush for using when you're coloring with watercolor pencils. And the way that I am used to doing it is I will wet the brush, and this is where my water was. This little thing down in the bottom, I can't remember where I purchased it from, but it's for, you know, when you want to clean your brush, you kind of want to rub it against something to get that pigment out. And that's what it's for. It's actually got a little, if I turn it upside down, the water's going to come out. But if I turn it upside down, you can see there's a little thing that makes it stick to the glass. It stays in the bottom of the container, and then I can just rub my brush up against it. And it's got these little nubs in there. You can see it to clean it. And you can pull it out and wash it if you want. I don't have water in here now because I just dumped it out. But I used this. This is a... this is supposed to be for a tea light, for a little camping thingy. It was inside of a box kit that I purchased because I love cute things. And this has Hello Kitty on it, and on the other side it's got like Tuxedo Sam, Karopi, so all the Sanrio, some of the Sanrio characters in here. And then I just use it for that purpose. It's a good size to fit on my desk somewhere. And then this brush I really like because when I use watercolor pencils, I do not use the pencil directly to the paper. I'm one of those people that uses a lot of pressure when they write. And I think that transfers to the paper when I use this type of technique, and it puts more pigment down. So what I like to do is get my brush wet, take the pigment off the tip of the pencil, and then go to the paper. So I can control how much pigment I have. Okay? That's how I use my pencils. I do not take the pencil and go directly to the paper. And it's just because I am heavy-handed with my pencil and my grip, and it just doesn't seem to give me, I don't get good control of the pigment. So that's what I do when I use my pencils. And I have several different brands of pencils. I don't really have a favorite because I don't practice enough. But I have a feeling I'll be using these more for my design team projects. So there's that. These are just rubber bands holding them into the plastic tray that I cut up of the packaging. So this tray is, it's not exactly half the width of the original packaging. It's a little bit less, but that's what fits the box. So I could make 2 trays and it could still hold the pencils in place instead of them being all jumbled up. It's weird. I know I have to have them in some sort of color order, just like I have my Copic markers and my other alcohol markers. It's just a thing. And then of course I had some extras that were not in the tray because the tray got cut up so much that I had some leftover pencils, and these will probably be used more than the ones that are underneath here, I would think. I don't know. We'll see. The other thing I'm putting in here is a laminated piece of watercolor paper. And so this is the front, I can tell. This is almost the same color as the one that I watercolored on. It's like a cream color, not a bright white or anything like that. I'm putting this in here because if I'm at a place where I want to take the pencils with me, I can just use this as my palette. So if I want to mix colors, this is a light, this is a white color or cream color, and you can see when you're mixing the 2 colors together what it might look like. Much better than if it were a palette that, if you used pattern paper, if you laminated pattern paper or something like that. But this is really small. It fits in the container. I often have these made up for that purpose so that I can mix color on them. I could do it on this mat, but if I'm traveling, then I don't have that mat. So I will just keep this in the box, and I'll probably actually, maybe to keep from the pencils from sliding too much, just slide it in here. So there's something keeping the pencils in place. And I can store this box, and actually I'm gonna, they did include a watercolor brush, one of those water brushes. Here it is. I don't know if it fits in the container. Does it fit? It looks like it will. The watercolor brush. Oh, it does. So if you have these, if you decide to purchase the set, it's a 96 pencil set. The water brush does fit in there. That's perfect. Now the water brush is a very fine. Well, what they sent us was a very fine tipped one. So that's fine because, sometimes you have detail that you need to color up or paint up. This is a regular watercolor brush. Does it fit in here? It might be too long. You'd have to put it at an angle to fit it in. And then I have this one, and this is a bold, it's not a fine tip, it's a bold Jade Davenport water brush. I do like this too. Yeah, this is actually one of my favorite brand of watercolor brushes. Or yeah, water brushes, I guess is what you call them. Hers are a little different because she is from Australia, so to open this, it turns the opposite direction of what you are used to, oddly enough, because they twist the other way. Okay? For the longest time I was like, I can't get this open because you're turning the wrong way. They twist in the opposite direction. Is that right? Don't make me a liar. One of them was like, I was like, why can't I get this open? It's because it twists in the opposite direction. I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know. I can't get that done. But anyway, I thought I'd share that with you in case you were wondering what the colors actually do look like. So I'd share my swatches with you and you could see how that looks. So let me close this back up so you can see the swatches. The colors are fairly light in color in terms of the what do you call it? The watercolor pencils. Will it close now? You might not close because of the brush. I hope so. I want that brush to stay in there. That would be cool. Because then it's a totally portable watercoloring experience. I might put a rubber band around this too, just in case, so it doesn't bust open. But here's the colors for the watercolor pencils, the 36 set. And number 1 in the set was the white, so you can't see the color because it's on white paper. I know it's there. I can actually see it, but it might be harder for you to see through the camera. But you can see it's a nice color range in here. And remember, you can mix colors. So you can experiment with getting different shades or different colors all together if you mix colors together. And that's what that palette is for inside the box. So now I can store them like this, or I can store them like this, or like this, somewhere around my desk, and it will be easy to get to. And the way that I've done it, it protects the points of the pencils. That was my other thing, is I needed something that wasn't a pouch, because I have plenty of pouches, and this is very compact. So I just wanted to share that with you, that's what I use. Hopefully there'll be some watercoloring videos coming up with things that I am stamping out, but we'll see. I'm not I wouldn't even consider myself an intermediate watercolor person. I took some in-person classes some years ago that were offered by somebody who teaches them, and they were just more like hobbyist type classes, just to learn the techniques. And I think I've got old videos of what I actually came back with. I took 2 different classes, and she was great. She was a good instructor. I've forgotten everything I've learned. No, I haven't forgotten, but you know, there's techniques and you have to practice. Everything you do, you have to practice if you want to get better at it. And so I think part of my issue is with watercolor, you need to control the water, right? And that's where the thing is. Wherever the water is, that's where the pigment will go. Just keep that in mind. Wherever you put water down, that's where the pigment is going to go. So control the water and you'll control the pigment, if that makes any sense. So, you know, I hope to get a little bit better as I go along, but we'll see. My preference for coloring mediums is not watercolor, even though I have enough to probably be lasting for the rest of my lifetime and somebody else's. So anyway, thanks for watching. And I'll give you one more look at the other colors that are in the cakes, in case you guys picked this up too when you were making your order. So these are the colors in the cakes. Little bit different. Well, definitely different than the pencils. So just remember, you can mix colors with these too. Perfectly fine for that. So anyway, that is it for now, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.